was the holiday season in 2018. I'd been pondering what gifts to buy my family and friends. I literally woke up in the middle of the night and started searching for Black-owned companies. I wanted to buy something that would have an impact on my community. So that year, I blacked out Christmas. In other words, I purchased virtually everything from gift bags to playing cards to spices to body butters, all from Black-owned companies. And it made me think, the holiday season isn't the only time when we celebrate. There are birthdays and Mother's Day, Father's Day. And that's how the idea for Noire Boutique was born. Noire is the singular feminine version of the word black in French, and boutique means a small store that is sophisticated. We are thoughtful in selecting our brands, and we test absolutely every product which goes into the gifts. I mean, go to my bathroom, I actually use the scrubs and the body butters. Or go to my kitchen and my pantry is full of spices and sauces from Black-owned companies. We also make sure that we handle the products with integrity. That's why we have our Black Glove service. All of our gifts are packaged with the utmost care. We want to represent our partners in the same manner in which they'd represent themselves. We don't sell gift baskets. We curate thoughtful collaborations of Black-owned products. That's Noire Boutique.
Hello, everyone. Welcome this evening for Foodie Saturday. I am Daisy Thames, owner of Noire Boutique. And let me just, before we bring our other guests on, explain to you what is Noire Boutique. We curate thoughtful gift collaborations featuring 100% products from Black-owned companies. What does that mean? Why is that so important for us? Basically, we actually love providing another platform in a really cool way to get you some visibility to other products that are out there. We support all communities, but it's an honor for us to be able to support Black-owned businesses. So I know you're wondering, why does the girl have on some latex gloves this evening? This is super new. Well, we are joined this evening by Brian and Sherin Tooks of Pitmaster LTs, as well as Natasha Williams of Rain Solo. And we are going to do some cooking in the kitchen tonight. We are excited to launch our collaboration, our Father's Day collaboration with these wonderful brands. And so I just thought it would be cool to kind of bring them on, and then you guys get to see my skills in the kitchen. Don't judge me, judge yourself. So before we get too deep into everything, let me just first allow this beautiful young lady, Miss Natasha Williams, to tell us a little bit about these aprons that we're wearing this evening. Hey, Natasha, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on. You all are awesome, featuring our Holler at the Cook aprons. They're lightweight, modern, chic, trendy. You know, definitely a conversation piece. I know everyone's ready to get together with friends and family. What better way to do that than with a grilling session and getting it kicked off here with Noire Boutique and Pitmasters. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. So again, as she mentioned, we are featuring the aprons from Rain Solo, her company, in our Father's Day collaboration. And it says, holla at the cook. And so you definitely want to holla at the cook because you want the choice piece of meat from the grill. You want to make sure that they put yours aside if you arrive to the barbecue a little late. So definitely holla at the cook. But we are so excited, not just for this collaboration, but for future collaborations with Rain Solo. So thank you so much, Natasha, for joining us this evening. I know you've got some things to get to, so thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Perfect, great. You all too. I'll be looking at the demo shortly.
All right.
Sounds
Take care.
Bye-bye. Great meeting you.
Bye-bye. All right, all right. So Brian and Sherin took, so excited to speak with them on camera and allow you all to just kind of be a part of this wonderful cooking demonstration. It's the first time I've done anything like this. And so I think it's the first time for them as well. So we're just gonna have fun tonight. Yes, absolutely. So let me pause for a second and allow you to introduce yourself and tell us about your role in running the operation of Pitmaster LTs.
Thank you very much. So I'm Brian Tooks. This is my wife, Sherin. My father, Luther LT Tooks, is the LT and Pitmaster LTs. Our barbecue sauces and dry rubs are his creations. Luther is a Chicago kid, born in Chicago, lived his early life there, but lived in public housing. Altgeld Gardens, some of you may have heard of Cabrini Green, one of the notorious bad housing projects. That was his beginning. And so he wasn't exposed to a lot of, barbecue cooking. Living in the projects, you weren't going to have grills and be sophisticated pit masters. But he finally left Chicago, went to live with his grandparents when he was in high school, finished in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
And finished high school in Little Rock. Entered college at a small HBCU in Little Rock, Philander Smith College. Literally worked his way through school and landed a job opportunity after he graduated with IBM. About 4 or 5 months after he graduated from college, he was drafted into drafted for the Vietnam War. But almost miraculously, he actually did not get sent to Vietnam. He got sent to the Netherlands to serve a tour there. And once he was discharged from military service, he came back, took the job with IBM, and went to Memphis. Memphis is a notorious barbecue town.
Yes.
Right. And so at that point, he really started trying all different types of Memphis barbecue. Enjoyed it, but never found anything that he really, really liked. And then a job opportunity came available within IBM to go to Kansas City. So he transferred to Kansas City and started trying, another barbecue town. Started trying barbecue there, found some things to his liking, but said, you know what, I like some aspects of Memphis barbecue. I like some aspects of Kansas City barbecue. And by the way, I would say Kansas City is known as a barbecue town for as much as anything for the barbecue sauce. In Texas, the theory is the meat, let the meat speak for itself. The dry rub is the predominant barbecue ingredient. But in Kansas City, if you've got a good sauce, you can mask mediocre meat. So exactly. So he started experimenting with different barbecue sauce recipes. And after several years of experimentation, he finally settled on something that he really liked. And now that invention is Pitmaster LT's barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. Well, so he had a career in Kansas City. In the 90s, he opened a barbecue restaurant. And the old adage, location, 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 he lived, because you had people that would come in and say, boy, this is some of the best barbecue we've ever had in Kansas City, but the location wasn't great. Okay. A great deal on lease, but there was a reason why. And so after about a decade, he closed that down, went back into sales, retired again 5 or 6 years ago, and said, what's going to be my next act? And he decided, you know what, I'm going to take the sauces and rubs that I created and that I used in the restaurant, and I'm going to bring those to the retail space. Mm-hmm. And so that's where Pitmaster LTs was born.
Got it. And I am so glad that he did, because these sauces and rubs, like, I can't even tell you how much I have put these on, from all kinds of vegetables to all kinds of meats to, my potato, I put it in chili. I put it on everything. And I think everyone who tastes this will also say the same. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I like to hear that. And you know, even though the rubs are labeled as beef and lamb or pork and poultry, what you'll find is that in both cases, they're very versatile. I mean, LT himself actually uses the beef and lamb rub on eggs. I personally don't eat eggs, but you know, apparently it's good, right?
I have to try that.
Absolutely. So my role at this point is to work hand in glove with him and Sherin, and my primary focus is helping to build the retail footprint for the product. So my focus is on getting the product into as many stores throughout the world, really, because we actually have a presence in Europe now, but especially throughout North America. I would like, within 5 to 10 years, I would like for it to be the case that virtually everyone, at least who lives in a metropolitan area, has Pitmaster LTs within 2 miles of them at their local store.
Yes. And if Noire Boutique can do anything to help that journey, and I know we are like very, very small, but you know, for folks to get it in the gift baskets or the gift collaborations and try it, that's our goal. And that's what we're just so honored that, you know, you all would even allow such a small business to even partner with you all, and how you're spreading your footprint as well. So
Daisy, we're coming up together. So yes, we are coming up together. Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely. So so you know, we started off, Pitmaster LT started off in the Kansas City area, spread to the Omaha, Nebraska area, has pretty much saturated that area. And now we're throughout the state of Kansas through the Kroger company's Dillon's theme stores. Like I said, pretty much throughout Omaha, Kansas City, Central Missouri. We're just starting to go pretty extensively into Southern Missouri.
Okay.
That's just happening, you know, within the last couple of weeks. A few stores in St. Louis, but not a heavy presence. But we're hoping that changes any week now, frankly. And then we have a pretty extensive presence in Canada now. We're starting to grow in Ontario and British Columbia. And in July, we will start landing on the shelves of stores in Mexico.
Wow. That just gets me so excited, because now I know, because I used to travel to Mexico and actually Canada a lot for work, but now I know I can actually go there, and whether I like the food or not, I can find something that I'm in love with, which is Pitmaster. And you're also in Baltimore, Maryland now, which is where Noire Boutique, where we operate out of. So thank you so much for sharing that. So why don't we come to you for a moment, Sherin, and you tell us kind of what is your role with Pitmaster LTs?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, we want to thank you so much for supporting us and for allowing us to join you tonight. We're really excited about this. And it's actually our first time doing a live, so we're a little nervous, but we're going to make it through together. So,
yeah, together.
My role with Pitmaster LTs is really the social media and content creation. So whenever anyone's looking at Pitmaster LTs on Instagram, they're looking at things that I'm creating and uploading. And, you know, the barbecue community on Instagram in particular is just amazing. We have made so many friends. We have folks using our sauce, our ambassadors, shout out to them if they're watching, that are just phenomenal pitmasters, grillers, barbecuers. And there's so much great content out there. And so I'm just excited to get to be a part of that and to create, you know, unique dishes. And sometimes some just basic good cooking like we're going to do tonight with these drumsticks.
That is right. So let me just back up for a second and be clear for everyone. When Sherin says she creates content, she's not just taking pictures of food. She is actually throwing down in the kitchen, and she can tell you how many times I have messaged her like, wait, why didn't I get an invitation to dinner? Or can you freeze this and just mail it to me? Because the dishes look absolutely amazing. And I know we're actually going to get to see your finished product of what you're going to walk me through right now, right? A little bit later. So like she said, so we're just making some super simple drumsticks. And for those of you who don't like to cook, you're trying to try some new recipes, I think the worst thing to do is to go grab a cookbook that has 50 ingredients in something. You want to start with a dish that's really simple but extremely tasty. So I've got my drumsticks. They've been cleaned and dried off. I've got some onions, which I think was just a little bit of me adding something in, and my rub. So Sherin, why don't you just tell us what would be the next step?
Yeah, no, this is perfect. And this is, as you said, a great way for someone who maybe isn't the best in the kitchen to put together a really nice meal, especially with Father's Day coming up. And it's going to have a great barbecue-like flavor for them, even if they don't necessarily have access to a grill or, that kind of thing. I know you're going to do yours in the oven. I did ours on the grill today, a little earlier. The first thing I would do, you've done exactly the right thing by cleaning the chicken, drying it off. And then what I would do is put a little bit of oil on the chicken. So if you have a little bit of oil, yep, you just want to put a little bit of oil because you want something to hold that rub. So in the cooking world, we would call this kind of a binder. And so I would just drizzle a little bit, and then with your hands, just massage the chicken so that you've got oil all over that.
I need a massage too. Why does the chicken get the massage? Okay, so I got it coated.
Okay, and then once you've done that, you can grab the pork and poultry, which is delicious.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Food hygiene.
Okay, so the pork and poultry, that's this one.
That's the red one. Yep, the pork and poultry. And I actually liberally coat the chicken with it. So, it's really to taste, but I put quite a bit on so that I really see more of the red seasoning than I do the chicken meat itself.
And I just have to say, so one of the concerns that I've had from a few people is it very salty? And it's not at all. And in fact, like Sherin was saying, she coats it enough to make sure you see more of the red than the chicken.
Yeah, Daisy, that's a really good point because I think it's important to know with our product, there's no added sugar into the seasonings at all.
Okay.
And they are very low salt compared to other seasonings that might be out there. So, for those folks that are concerned with those kind of things, that's something that they can kind of rest assured on with Pitmaster LTs.
Got it.
A lot of times, Daisy, you'll see with barbecue rubs in particular that salt is used as kind of a filler ingredient.
Yes.
And we didn't do that. When we're using high grade ingredients like turmeric and other things. So as barbecue rubs go, these are low in salt.
And they're exactly super tasty. And if you are someone like me who you like food, you like trying different spices, you can tell the quality of ingredients that are in here versus some of the other products. I appreciate you saying that. So I guess this is probably like half a tablespoon. Would you say this is enough, or should I keep going? Or
yeah, no, it's really to taste. And I think if you're comfortable with the amount that you put on there, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, just there you go.
You almost can't overdo it. Yeah.
You never have too much flavor. Yeah. Okay.
Error on the side of the overdo.
Yes. So I've got it seasoned with the pork and poultry. What would you say do next?
Okay, so you did some onions, which are awesome. They're going to be great when they're baked in the oven the way that you're going to make them. So I would just put your onions right in your baking dish right there.
Okay.
And then you're going to throw that in the oven. I'd probably bake it at like 350 to 75.
Okay.
Or, however long it takes based on your oven. We always check our internal temperature when we're dealing with meat. So I use a thermometer for that.
Okay. And I do have a meat thermometer. I'm glad you said that. Do you use your meat thermometer outside on the grill and in the house, or just when you're using the grill? Okay. Okay.
I use it in all instances because I want to make sure I'm serving up food that's going to be safe. So
got it. Love it. So we've used the pork and poultry. It's popped in the oven. So of course, everyone, mine will not be done by the time we are finished with this interview. Sherin actually has prepared some ahead of time that we'll look at in just a moment. I don't want to give it away yet, but she showed me before we started, and just know I'm already hungry. She does that to me a lot. So let's just maybe ask a few questions and get to know you both a little bit more. Also for the audience, if you have any questions, feel free to post them, and we'll make sure that Sherin and Brian have an opportunity to answer. So talk to us a little bit, because we're launching the Father's Day collaboration. Maybe I'll come to you, Brian, first. Talk to us a little bit about some of the lessons that you've learned from your father just in this kind of entrepreneurial journey, as well as just overall in life.
Absolutely. So one of the joys of working in this business has just been the time that I've been spending with him. There are some days, Daisy, where I talk to him more now than I did when I was living under his roof, it seems.
Wow.
And yeah, because we're constantly sharing information and talking, and so that has been a blessing. And one of the things that I've learned in the process, I think the reason that Pitmaster LTs has been successful is because how he treats people. And I think that some doors have been opened and some opportunities have been made available to us because people had a sense, number one, this is a good guy who will live up to his commitments and do what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And because there are a lot of barbecue sauces out there, frankly.
That's very true.
And many of them are very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we think we have one of the best, but there are a lot of barbecue sauces out there. And so there's got to be something that sets you apart in the marketplace. And sometimes, like any other business, this is a people business.
Right.
And so one of the things that I have certainly learned from him, even before this, but it's very vivid now working with him, is that you treat people right, treat people with respect, and you do it because it's the right thing. But that's going to come back to you. That's going to reap benefits. That's number one.
Yeah, I really appreciate you talking about that. I had the pleasure of having a Zoom meeting with him when we first decided to launch, and it was interesting because I had tried other barbecue sauces. I'd reached out to companies, and besides looking at taste and packaging, I'm always interested in the customer service, right? So are the business owners responsive? If there's a question or anything comes up, how do they treat me? And he was so pleasant. He was so nice. And I felt like I was talking to my own uncle or someone in my family. He was just so engaging, and just a really lovely man. So I'm so glad that we had that interaction. The other thing you mentioned was just being able to have the opportunity to talk to him and work with him and see that, who he was years ago, that integrity and the example is consistent. And I think that's absolutely beautiful that you have that experience. Yeah.
Absolutely right. And the other thing you asked about entrepreneurship, I think the other thing that I've learned is you just have to try.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have something, if you believe in something, if you think you believe in something, you just have to give it a try. And you may not succeed the first time. He had a restaurant in the past. It served great food. People loved it. But ultimately it was not successful. But that didn't end him. That didn't kill his spirit, his entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had a second. And now sometimes you can step out there and it really can be devastating. But you've got to give it a try. And so he's come back, and this looks like this is going to have a different outcome. So that's the other thing. If you have something, you have to have confidence in yourself, and you have to step out there and take a chance sometimes.
Yeah. And, so in the conversation that I had with him, he was giving me that exact encouragement and admonishment, because we were talking about, he worked years at IBM. I'm in corporate America. And at one point was like, what do I do? What do I do next? And he literally just said, when are you leaving? When are you going to step out and try and at least give yourself an opportunity? Now, in case my colleagues are watching, I am not to be clear.
Understood.
But however, I love the example of someone who said, I tried something, it didn't work the way I wanted to, but it set me up for who I am today and to try something else. And that was a blessing to hear that from him. for me personally. Yeah. So let me come over to you, Sherin. I know that you work closely with him as well. Talk to us about maybe a lesson or so that you've gained from Mr. Tooks.
I have to echo a lot of what Brian says, but his family has just taken me in with open arms. I ate barbecue occasionally before we were married, but really got into it as I came into the family. LT's just positive spirit and drive are really impressive, in my opinion. He is still going at it, just like he's putting in 40-hour work weeks, even though he's retired at this point. And so that's just something I think that's really admirable and something to really look up to for anyone.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. He's definitely an admirable individual. So, Brian, let me come back to you for a second. So, you said that you had this amazing example of a man, a provider, a leader, all of this in your house. If you could go back in time to your younger self and have a conversation with young Brian, what would you tell yourself to do more of?
Follow your passion,
Okay.
whatever that may be. And I have a happy life now, so I really have no complaints. But everybody has some regrets and wonders. Well, if I had tried this, how would that have turned out, and so forth. Everybody has those thoughts. And life is short, and we get one opportunity. And so I would say, whatever you have a true passion for, go for it. That's what I would tell myself, as opposed to doing what you think you're supposed to do based on societal pressure or anything else. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Amen and amen and amen. we can close and open the doors of the church on that one, because that is so true. Follow your passion. What about you, Sherin? What would you go back and tell yourself 20 years ago or so?
I agree with Brian's comment, but I'd also tell myself to eat more barbecue. I think that following your passion, doing what your heart wants you to do, really important things, and to take care of friends and family as well. They're the people that you can rely on always, and really important to have that infrastructure.
Yeah, awesome. So let's switch up just a little bit and start talking about some food. So talk to us about maybe some of your favorite recipes or favorite dishes that you've used the Pitmaster LTs for. And I'll start with you, Sherin.
So like you, Daisy, I use the rubs on just about everything. And yeah, I mean, even though they have a label on them, pork and poultry and beef and lamb, I use them on everything. And the beef and lamb is excellent on roasted potatoes, which is actually what I'll be showing you in a little bit here. But I use that regularly on vegetables and other things. The pork and poultry is great for chicken, and of course beef and lamb on a great steak or burger. All of those are just delicious.
Steak or burger. Now I'm getting hungry again, so didn't have the appropriate dinner, but our lunch we'll have that later on. So any major cooking failures that you have, just like a funny story or something you can recall?
I remember an early on brisket that actually turned into beef jerky at one point. So that was a pretty big failure. And briskets can be kind of difficult to cook. You've got to, keep the moisture in, and they need to be cooked through. Obviously, you don't want to give anybody any raw beef, unless you're doing carpaccio or something like that. Which is not the case when you're trying to make a brisket. But I have to say, failures are really good lessons on how to do things the next time around.
Mhm.
And so, with each cooking failure, you learn something. You recognize, oh, maybe I should have done this differently, or a temperature differently, or offset something. Uh,
Mhm.
so, there's never really a failure. I mean, yeah, nobody wants to eat burnt brisket, but you learn the next time.
Yeah, and you just found a new beef jerky recipe.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Daisy, I ate it all. So, yeah.
That's that. You know what? That's what you're supposed to say, Brian. Say it was all good. No.
It was all
So,
good.
so I saw you taking a sip of something. Talk to us about what you like to drink when you're having some barbecue.
Well, I'm very basic. So I'm a rum and coke, specifically a Captain Morgan private stock and coke. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's with barbecue or anything else for that matter. Uh, but Sherin, do you have a favorite?
I mean, I'm drinking water, but occasionally a cocktail here or there. But tonight I'm sticking with water. I've got to be on point for you.
Yes. Yes. But after this, so you can go and have that cocktail.
Thank you.
Yes. So why don't we go ahead and just do the big reveal? Why don't we show the finished product? So barbecue chicken drumsticks and talk. I think so. I'm cooking in the oven. I think you said you cooked yours outside on the grill, right?
I did. Yep.
Okay.
I did them on the grill. I did the same preparation that you did. I just grilled them outside really quickly, of course, till they were done. But and then inside, I did some roasted potatoes and roasted mini bell peppers, sweet ones that come in all different colors. And so here's the finished product.
Nice.
I've put them on a bed of arugula. You see the little tiny potatoes kind of in between the chicken. And then, of course, these delicious drumsticks. I'll pick one up and show you. But, they're just easy bites. They've got nothing but the rub on here, and they're just cooked through. And, it's a great barbecue flavor that's easy to get, whether you're on a grill or in the kitchen working out of an oven.
Awesome. Thank you so much for showing us that. Of course, you have intensified my hunger again. But okay, we already knew that was going to happen. And Peggy said, it looks amazing. Yes, it does. And so for those of you who are on IG, Instagram, go over and follow Pitmasters, because Sherin posts recipes, and I've tried a few of them. One of them I failed at. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, I probably won't do that way again. It was my fault. But all the recipes look amazing. They look yummy, and it's diverse. So if you like seafood, or if you like beef or pork or chicken, she's posting all kinds of recipes, so you can follow her. Hint, hint, Sherin, we're looking for a cookbook one day, maybe. Just put that little bug out there in your ear. So talk to us. Say it again.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just like, follow us at Pitmaster LT.
Yes, at Pitmaster LT, and I'm going to see if production can put that in the comments for us. But so talk to us about what's next on the horizon for Pitmaster, and I'll come to you, Brian.
Well, just to continue to grow in stores, grow online. We have one of the, I failed to mention, one of the great experiences that has really occurred within the last year, ironically during the COVID period, has been we've developed an ambassador program, or Sherin has. And we have met some wonderful people. We're looking forward to actually getting out and traveling and meeting some of these folks in person, from Washington State to South Carolina and places, Arizona, places in between. And we've met some great folks who enjoyed Pitmaster LTs, to the point that they say, hey, look, I want to promote this. I want to help you out. And so that's been great. And so through that, and through our the efforts that have been underway for the last 3 or 4 years, we want to continue, like as I said, to be in a store near you, wherever you are in America, wherever you are in Canada, eventually Mexico, and so forth. And just be known to all the consumers out there. We think if once you try Pitmaster LTs, you'll like it.
Yes, you will love it. You absolutely will. I love it. So Sherin, any upcoming recipes or so that we can look forward to coming from you soon?
You know, so I've recently purchased some tofu. I am going to try and do a play on burn ends, which is a Kansas City staple, but I'm going to do some tofu burn ends, and we'll see how that turns out. It's going to be a shout out to our vegetarian friends.
And I'm shaking my head like I never would have thought that, but that is perfect. Please make sure that you post that and give us the recipe. I have been trying probably a little 50% vegan sort of lately, and that would be an awesome recipe. So hopefully
it's not a fail, but we'll see. I'll post nonetheless.
Yes, please do. Absolutely. So we're going to show the website real briefly, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone can see what items are actually featured in the collaboration. So we do have the Pitmaster barbecue rubs. We didn't do the sauces this time. We're focused on the rubs. We also have the Holla at the Cook apron that's included as well. There is the honey mustard and hot wing sauce from Habib's Gourmet Sauces. They're another one of our amazing Black-owned businesses that we support. And then a card from Posterity Paper, and it just says, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man, which is kind of an ode to the Salt and Pepper song. But you can also personalize the message. So if you're not having the gift shipped to you so that you can personally hand it to someone, if you're having it shipped directly to your father or your husband or the gentleman that you want to honor, we can actually put the message inside of the card for you. It comes beautifully packaged in a white magnetic reusable gift box. So it's all beautiful all together. And again, it will make the cook in your life, in your household, just excited. People will holler at them. They will have an awesome conversation about the wonderful sauces and products that are included in the gift collaboration. And we've got some of those right here. So thank you all so much for joining us this evening. I have had an awesome time. I know I was nervous. This is the first time I'm cooking live, and we have a lot of things going on, but this has been a blessing. It's been more so a blessing just to get to know the Tooks family, Brian and Sherin, and also Mr. Tooks, Mr. Luther Tooks. Just been an amazing journey over the last several months, just getting to know you all. So really look forward to working with you, partnering with you. Again, go ahead. We're taking pre-orders now. So if you go to the website, you can go ahead and put your order in. We'll make sure it ships on time, in time for Father's Day. So any last words or so that you'd like to, or encouragements that you'd like to give Brian and Sherin?
Well, no, I would just like to repeat a lot of what you said, Daisy. This has really been a pleasure. This has been a joy, and we appreciate the partnership and the burgeoning friendship with you. And your spirit shines through these. You know, we've watched your other live feeds before we were a participant tonight, and it's infectious. I know Noire Boutique will be successful because they've got a good person behind it, and we look forward to building with you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. And on that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Again, go make sure you follow at Pitmaster LT. And we will see you on the next one. I'm going to go and finish my chicken and have a good
evening. Right. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, yes. Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.